No, I don't. They don't ever come in. You don't get anything from.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm good. Good to go, Ken? You good?
Yep.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Good morning. We'll call the meeting to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, perfect. No confusion. We'll begin with approval of the minutes from July 28, 2026 and the July 30 workshop. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of July 28, 2026 and July 30th of 2026 workshop.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. You've approved the minutes for the 28th and the 30th workshop. We do have a number of requests on agenda items this morning. First being Ann Hayden. Agenda topic 2026-201.
That would be A.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm curious, what can WSP do for the residents of Franklin County? What are they going to do with this GIS data? Does this agreement have something to do with building data centers? Is their use of the information paid for by the county, the taxpayers, going to be transparent? Is anybody listening? I don't know.
I'm listening. I'm just getting to the work order request.
Great. The data they compile needs to be publicly available. Will this be the case? How much is this agreement going to cost the taxpayers? And who benefits? Again, you work for us. You need to listen to our concerns and answer our questions. Respect the people you are supposed to represent. Stop representing a few people and start representing the tax-paying citizens. You work for us. And you know, this used to be called discussion, and I know it's called public comments now, but there never has been a discussion. One time there was, when you weren't here and he was in charge.
It is available to the public, and it's the licensee shall pay the county the sum of $494.10 prior to license to use GIS database being granted to the licensee. So it's actually money coming in, and it's typically used for assessments, is my understanding. Dawn is, I think, the requesting authority for that.
What was the question?
Their website shows that it's used for engineering,
I'm sorry to hear you.
engineering
Okay.
and planning. And I'd just like to know, is that part of what we're doing for data centers? I mean, are we giving that information out to them to use
We're
for
not
that?
doing their engineering and we're not doing their planning. And anyone, from my understanding, I'm reading this, it says the licensee shall pay to the county. So that should be open to anybody, right? It's a free society. I don't know whether they're buying anything like that or not. To my knowledge, no.
Next, Twyla Ashworth.
Yeah, I had some questions too about that. Not a whole lot, but when it comes to the GIS data that's on citizens, I too am concerned of where is our data going to and who is it going to? It says a limited license agreement. How long is this agreement going to be?
I think they get, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, I believe they get access to it. It's not unlimited access.
They get it, whatever is in existence. They get it, whatever is in existence as of the date they receive it, but that information is constantly changing. And the GIS data under state law, that's public records. Anybody can get access to it. Anybody can have a copy of it. We charge for the copies just like we charge for copies of paper records. This is all electronic information, but we have to make it available to anybody and everybody that asks for it. It's a public record.
I guess I just don't understand why they need our information. You know, what are they going to use it for?
It appears
say
that they're mapping
engineering.
utilities, accurately mapping utilities that are within the district's what it says.
You're talking electrical, gas lines, water,
It says all utilities.
all utilities.
Yeah, it says all utilities.
So it's not cost. So the county is not paying for this. They are paying for this.
No,
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm still a little bit suspicious about it because I'm like, Ann, you know, is this going to be a prelude for doing pre-work for the data centers? That's my concern. That's my concern.
understand. Next, Corbett.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Commission Order 2026-203. Today, you're prepared to appoint someone to yet another government committee. When there's a vacancy you want to fill, you somehow find the time. You draft the order, place it on the agenda, and take action. Yet for months, you've refused to fill the planning and zoning seat representing Calvi Township, the very township where Beltline Energy is proposing a $17 billion hyperscale data center. Gentlemen, that's a dereliction of your duty. For months, citizens, myself included, have repeatedly nominated Keith Ketcherside to serve on the Planning and Zoning Commission. He is overwhelmingly qualified for the opening. Instead of voting yes or voting no, you've simply done nothing. That is not leadership. That is avoiding accountability and refusing to act at all while simultaneously filling other appointments elsewhere sends a very disturbing message. Appointments are made when they're politically convenient and delayed when an independent voice might complicate a predetermined outcome. P&Z exists to ensure every community has representation in decisions that affect their future. By leaving Calvi Township without representation during the most significant zoning controversy in county history, you've denied those residents the voice they deserve. How can you claim this process is fair when one township remains without representation while the county continues to move forward on issues that directly affect that township? The appearance is just as damaging as actual bias. Government depends on public confidence, and every week that this seat remains vacant erodes that exact confidence. The people of Calvi Township are not asking for special treatment, they're asking for equal treatment. They're asking for the same urgency you demonstrate when appointing members to every other committee. If appointments matter for transportation, surely they matter for the body charged with making recommendations on multi-billion-dollar land use proposals. The citizens have spoken and they have participated and nominated a candidate. They deserve an answer, not your silence. And so today I'm asking this commission to stop delaying and stop avoiding the issue. Either appoint a qualified representative for Calvi Township or publicly explain why you refuse to do so. Franklin County deserves transparency, and Calvi Township deserves representation. A delayed decision is still a decision, gentlemen, and by refusing to act, you've chosen to deny Calvi Township its voice. The people deserve far better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff, you have your agenda topic is rezoning. Is it particularly related to any?
No.
So are you on the non-agenda items?
Right.
Okay.
Thank
Nancy Watson has 201 and one more. Nancy?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was going to ask you this morning, would you give an explanation on agenda item 2026-201? And you have been answering questions, and I really appreciate that. Second thing, I just wanted to read something from the WSP website. What we do. We leverage our global scale and local expertise to deliver remarkable projects that bring positive change. We inspire, guide, and collaborate with our clients across 100 sectors and 180 services. No matter the challenge, our teams envision future possibilities and bring them to life through technical know-how and innovation. It's a Canadian company. That's irrelevant. I still wonder what exactly expertise, information, and guidance on what subjects WSP may be bringing to Franklin County. So that's my question. If one of you would want to
I'm not sure that we can
that.
answer that. I don't think that we've asked that question of them. Obviously, they've made a request, to utilize the information on the GIS system, and obviously, we give people when they ask for that information, they get access. So I don't think that we have asked them, what are you needing it for?
Right.
What project is it
Right.
related to? I don't have that information.
Okay, well, I would just suggest that you do. And then shall I go ahead and talk about the other one? while I'm
What
here?
other? Oh, your other one more.
Or shall
What?
I sit down?
No. What do you?
Oh, it's a simple question. Again, I'm going to ask you if you could give us some explanation on this because I'm not familiar with this at all. My question in Commission Order 2026-202. So the city of St. Clair has been asked to annex property that is obviously currently in Franklin County for some reason, and we don't know what the reason is. So if you could tell us what the reason is, I would appreciate it. And secondly, my question, does any city in Franklin County need approval from the commissioners for annexation into the city? I live in Pacific. So this is a very real question for me. If some property in the city, outside the city of Pacific, wants to annex into the city of Pacific, is that an issue that has to come back to the commission? Okay, so I'll sit down. That's my question.
I believe that is correct. No, not correct, Mark. Sorry.
That they do not have to come to the county for approval. They submit their annexation ordinances, which are a done deal. They submit them to us, we accept them, and then it goes to GIS, it goes to the assessor's office, it goes to the collector's office, the recorder's office. So they have that information for their purposes.
So is that a
We do-
requirement?
We neither approve nor deny the annexations.
So what will you be doing today when you vote on Commission Order 2026202?
St. Clair has already voted to annex that property. It's
I've seen
already-
it. I know.
It's already been annexed. They
Okay.
sent it to
Making
us.
it a matter of record.
We'll accept it as for our records, and that information goes to the assessor's office, so they know now it's got to be assessed for city taxes.
Mhm.
It goes to the recorder's office, so they know it's in the city limits. It goes to the collector's office, so they know when they're filling out the tax bills, they need to include city taxes on the tax bills. And I'm not sure, and it goes to GIS for mapping purposes,
Mhm.
so they know this property is now located within the city. It's no longer subject to the county's zoning, et cetera.
And the taxing. Okay.
Correct.
And the
So-
property has to be contiguous with the political subdivision that's requesting the annexation.
Okay, one last question. Do you know why the owners of those properties requested to be annexed
I
to
do
St.
not.
Clair?
That's
I
probably
don't
a
know if
question to ask of-
Nicole is in here. I mean, it may have been. Oh yeah. Do you remember what the purpose for this annexation was?
No, I'm not involved in annexation.
Okay.
I just dropped off for you
at
guys.
the office. The city of St. Clair, it was just dropped off.
Well, that's what I was going to say. This is probably a better question for the city administrator or the city of St. Clair that's requesting this or that is doing the annexation.
Okay, and that's fine. I'll be happy to do that. Thank you.
Travis.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Travis.
First of all, I only want to talk about the 2026-201. Do you guys ever issue the, like for this one, the limited license agreement or the cooperative agreement? Like, how are people supposed to intelligently comment on something, a subject, when it's not being shared with them? So,
It's public information.
but where's it posted at?
It's posted right now.
Are you talking about the GIS information?
The 201, it says there's a cooperative agreement. So where can people read that? And the limited license agreement.
It's a service that's provided.
But I mean, how do
The
people know?
cooperative, the limited license agreement. We have a copy of that. The cooperative agreement. This is part of this, so I'm certain there's a copy could be made available. It should be.
And I can send you a copy. That's whatever.
Okay. Okay, so when people see the agenda come out, they don't have to sunshine request. They can just email you for the attachments or whatever.
Well, it's like any cooperative agreement. We agree cooperatively to pay the electric bill on these buildings, but we don't post it in the.
But that's not an agenda item. Paying your light bills isn't on the agenda.
It is when we do the budgets.
Okay.
He's just
So then-
asking how he can get a copy of the agreement to review it for it.
Yeah, it's all public information.
You can just send it.
Okay. You can't get to it is all, Ken. Like, I guess I would expect it to be like part of the agenda or something. So people can have access to it before they come into the meeting so they can, well, maybe a lot of their questions will be answered and it would save you guys some time.
We
Or maybe-
usually do post it on the website, but because we have to, with the ADA compliancy on the website, we had to pull the PDF files. We aren't allowed to post those. We're working on getting it updated.
Okay.
When we do, then they will be posted, go back to posting.
Okay, that would be helpful. Anyway, I do find the GIS data very useful as a user of it. I use it quite often, but I was wondering some of the same questions other people had. What all data is included in that? I mean, our country's kind of going nuts on the whole violation of privacy thing with the flock cameras and everything and the license plate readers, Ring cameras on everybody's house. There's, I don't know if you guys hit with this yet, but the Jefferson County, the assessors now have auto assessors where they use satellite data and they compare images of your backyard and they can tell if you got a new deck put in and they're charging you for your new deck. So we kind of need to slow down and reverse on that a little bit. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Dana Bowers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lucky for you, I'm starting to lose my voice today, but
I didn't get your coffee this morning, or you?
Yeah,
maybe you forgot
shocker.
to send me the request.
oh, well, I sent it to you last week. You didn't do it last week.
forgot.
either,
You
but
might
That's okay.
Yeah.
You forgot. It's okay. So I also wanted to talk about this cooperative agreement pertaining to the WSP. They promote themselves on, I guess my greatest concern is, who are you giving our, and this includes you guys as well, who are you giving our information to? And I understand it's all public knowledge, it's all public, everything is, but there's a massive issue nationally with the flock cameras and the mass surveillance and violation of our constitutional rights of privacy. I'm just wanting to try to get do you have a copy of this agreement?
We do have a copy attached to this commission order. Yes.
You guys have a copy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one of my questions is, where is the copy of the proposed contract so that we as the people can actually read what information they have access to of ours? And what are they planning on utilizing this information for? Are they doing specific studies on something? Because when you go and you actually research and look on their website of what this company actually represents, this is a company that does, they do all kinds of research. And it makes me question what they're utilizing our information for. Does that make sense as to what our concern is with this company?
I understand. And I can't answer. I don't know specifically, who they're providing this research for and for what purposes. That is, again, as I stated, we did not ask that question.
Okay. If you haven't asked that question and don't have the answers to these questions, how can you vote on something to pass it?
Because it wouldn't make any difference what the answer would be. It's a matter of them. We provide that information because they request it.
So
how are we going to withhold? Why would we withhold it from them?
Well,
they're an independent company, obviously, so we don't control what they do or do not do with their information. But maybe it's better. Nicole, could you explain what you use it for? Maybe that's the easiest.
Would you rather wait until after the public comment session?
Yeah, afterwards.
So the GIS technicians are here. They're the ones that actually receive the process request. They may have more information about it. We may not. But would you like me to address that now? Or would
I think right now, because that seems like to be the root cause of these questions is our use of, which we can control. We can't control
what they do with the information, what they get
right.
when they get it. And that's part of the problem right now in general in our communities.
Yeah, we don't
people
control
are using
that, though.
Then if we don't know how they're going to use it and we're not comfortable with how they would use it, why would we give it to them?
We're not.
Because we have to. It's a public record.
Who says we have to?
The state law says we have to. It's a public record.
What's the state law number?
The statute is 67.1850.
I'll look that up. I appreciate that. Thank you. Real quick before they come up here, I just want you three need to don't rack your freaking.
I know. I'm just telling you, you're beyond your time, but we will allow Nicole. We'll allow Nicole to answer the question.
You need. I just think you three need to understand something is that we feel as if you're procedurally icing out the community from the ability to even handle public comments or discussion on the proposed commission orders when we don't even know what they are prior to the meetings, and then refuse to have any form of conversation, unlike today, which I will say I appreciate today, about them before you actually vote on them. You guys complained before about nobody showing up to meetings, and now you have constituents that are concerned with things of this nature. here and we are showing up. So please don't complain the fact that we are asking questions and we do want to have conversation. We shouldn't have to beg for information or sunshine request or send her emails and overload her with email requests. My suggestion to avoid the fact that this is a pretty massive issue in our county is, why can we not potentially consider proposing to have an agenda packet that includes all the commission orders that will be discussed in the workshops and a draft of the orders that will be spoken about being voted on at the week's prior meeting? So say today, you would have had all this information for us today, which what will be on the proposed agenda for next week, for us to be able to access that, take it home, read it over, do our studies on what you're going to be voting on, and or acquiring a Zoom.
Dana, I hate to interrupt you, but
Our workshops are public.
Okay.
I mean,
The website
Jeff's
is
there
horrible.
most
When's the
every
website
time.
getting fixed, by the way? When's the website getting fixed?
Dana, I will allow Nicole to answer the question, but we got to move on. Obviously, we've given you more time.
I don't have a whole lot to add for the commission other than what's already been stated. It's like any other sunshine request that we receive, where sometimes we would waive the fees if it's in the public interest. Sometimes we would charge for the time involved in gathering the request. That's the situation with this. WSP is a for-profit company. They're allowed to request the information, and to my knowledge, we have to release it. I will see if one of the GIS technicians has more information about what the company is intending to do with it. But I mean, obviously, we know they're working on some sort of utility project.
but what do we do with it?
What do we do with what?
This information as a county.
You mean the GIS data?
So they're selling it, but our use of it. What is our use of it as a county?
What is what?
Our use of the
data?
GIS as a county. Right.
Taxing, all the property records.
That's what I wanna
We
hear.
maintain everything for the maps, for taxing, for the collector, for the assessor. I mean, everybody uses it. And then the data
And the
is
city
available.
and the county clerk also.
Right, so we have the public maps, obviously, those are free, to use, but then if they want shape files from the maps, while they do exist, so people have a right to ask for them, but preparing that for release to the public takes some time, which is why we charge for it. We charge for the time and resources that we use to prepare that information and release it. You know more information about why WSP is using it beyond a utility project?
They are using it for electrical utility project. And yes, we do ask what they are using the data for. That way we can know if they are working along with one of the districts within the county or the cities. We generally will waive the fees for districts and the municipalities within the county. So yes, we do in fact ask, but for general purposes, so we know to waive the fees.
So if it's a public entity like MoDOT or City of
Correct.
Washington, City of Union, you waive
Fire
that fee.
district, yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
that's standard.
And we do get requests from the districts for the municipalities quite often.
Occasionally, it will be a private company doing work for MoDOT on a specific project or whatever, but yeah.
And you
I get why
charge
everyone's worried
charge
about it.
them because they're under contract, so they're charging the entity for that to do that project. So
Well, it would depend on what the project is, and that would be up to the commission on whether or
Yeah.
not to waive the fees.
Any data requests, any GIS data requests, regardless of the fees being waived, will go through the commission. They still have to sign the cooperative agreement, regardless of if the fees are waived. Everyone will have to sign a cooperative agreement.
What is this project that they're working on right now? I think that's the biggest question.
Again, this data will be used for an electrical utility project.
Which one?
That was the answer that we received.
Just like we don't request from the public, why are you wanting this information? Why are you trying to access this file in our office when they do a sunshine request? I mean, we might ask for general information just so we can get a concept if it's being used for a for-profit reason, so that we know to charge the fees, or not for profit, so we know not to charge the fees. But regardless, we can't
Yeah.
control what they do with it. It's information that's available to the public. We just have to present it in a certain format. They pay for that format.
As far as information within the parcel layer, it is ownership. If they are within a subdivision or a lot, we have that information on there. As far as the ownership, that's the vesting document number. So that name is coming directly from the vesting document that is being owned in that manner. If it's a lease parcel, then it's the document that the assessor's department will send to us with that owner information. It's acreage, if it's available, if it's within a subdivision, that information is available, and then an abbreviated legal description, not the actual legal description, mind you, an abbreviated legal description. And is also obviously the parcel ID as well. And then the mailing address for the owner as well. Again, that is listed from the vesting document unless the owner has requested that to be changed.
And this existing commission order is not approving someone's request. I'd like to get that clear. This is just approving the process of a request. If someone is to request, it's stating out a fee in their fee base. So that's what we're voting on. We're not voting on an entity requesting the information. So if there's a particular entity that you're worried about, then you should just ask that question. Has this entity requested this in a WSP? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm sure someone would, Nicole or someone at their department. So if you want to request that from them, that's fine.
I don't even know what are you saying they can request?
It seems like the concern is who's requesting this information. Seems like the concern.
You'll have to get a copy after, you can get a copy after the,
But Dave, that's the point. The agenda is posted on a Monday. It doesn't say anything about a cooperative agreement. The limited license agreement says nothing. Oh, well, we haven't seen the agreement, but no public comment, so pass. I mean, no one has a chance to review it.
This is not an agreement with anyone requesting the information. That's what I'm trying to say. This is just an agreement of the process in case someone does ask for the information.
So there's two agreements that are listed on that commission order, and everyone that's asked about this here today is simply asking, what do those agreements say? That's what they're asking. Okay.
I will entertain you briefly. The agreement and the ability of the county to enter into this agreement is authorized by section 70.210 RSMO as following. In the consideration of the grant of the county of rights, use of specified GIS files and GIS data, collectively referred to as GIS database of Franklin County, to which the agreement is applicable, which are now in existence and hereafter developed and further defined and described in this license agreement. The undersigned license hereby is to agree to accept and use such GIS files and data to and under this subject of following terms and conditions. That means all computer-generated digital files developed, retained, which are developed by the Franklin County and part of the Geographic Information System in regards to the format provided the undersigned licensee. The licensee hereby acknowledges that Franklin County, Missouri has protected the legal rights to the GIS data provided hereunder existence and developed at the GIS database as proprietary intellectual property of the county. The licensee here also agrees to use said GIS data solely for the authorized purposes within the scope of the license's business, subject to the terms and conditions of this agreement. Hereby, licensee is limited to non-exclusive, non-assignable licensee to use the GIS data in the base license agreement for internal use and not for resale, distribution, or assignment, sublicense, or transfer to any third party. The licensee agrees that the acceptance of the GIS data under this license agreement shall preserve all the county's right and title to the interest of GIS data. The undersigned licensee also agrees not to distribute the files, whether in present format or any other format, or transfer them to any other person, entity, or any type without the county consent. The undersigned agrees not to permit person within employ or agent or contracted person to use or distribute the GIS files provided hereunder for the purpose except as authorized by the licensed written consent of the Franklin County, Missouri. And I can continue on. It spells all that out.
Commissioners, I would like to add one more thing. All of the data that we provide, all the information within the parcel shape files that we are providing is online, by the way. It is on our GIS map that is open to the public. Now, to access these files, if you wanted your own copy, that's what we are sending people. We are sending the actual shape file. So whether it's like the fire districts or the municipalities or the actual parcels themselves within that data, if you're looking for that information or those shape files, that's what we're sending people.
And Rochelle, all of the data that's in the GIS database is coming from publicly available information. Is that correct?
Correct.
It's already out there. It's just being compiled into one database.
Correct.
Thank you. One more question.
Can I ask the GIS people a question?
Do you have any type of? We're available after the meeting if the commission would prefer.
Yeah, that's fine. You can ask after the meeting.
Okay.
Is that fine? Janine Kreider.
This cooperative agreement here is dated 2024.
That's just a typo on my part. I will get it correct.
Because I think everyone's questions are asking you see something like this on the agenda, how hard would it be to put a hyperlink on the website when this agenda comes out that says, here's the cooperative agreement, here's the link.
Corbett, I'm not the IT person, but Chuck is back there. But I don't think we can put a hyperlink to there because it's not ADA compliant. Is that correct, Chuck?
Correct. So we'll have to do ADA compliance site right now. That's for October.
There was a time when that would have been available, Corbett, but it's not. We do not, because of ADA compliance, we no longer have the ability to do that.
And why is the county not in compliance with the ADA requirement from the federal government?
We're working to accomplish that. We are in compliance. Chuck, we're in compliance, right? Janine,
Okay,
your time.
so I came up on this rather late and I've done very little research, but just from assessing it very quickly, there's a couple of things. First of all, our data being out there, again, as people mentioned, we already have documentation about flock cameras being abused and misused significantly throughout the U.S. Secondly, there are protections for people, say, from abusive situations where they have had to flee and move. Their data will be out there. There are actually laws that protect them. And I feel that when if it's not mandated that you hire a company to do this kind of research, why not keep people employed to do that research? Again, it's not as easy as clicking a button or paying a company to do this. But, you know, there's a lot of questions that have been answered that it seems like you didn't have the answer to. And it just takes me back to, oh gosh, when they were trying to pass some kind of bill that we have to first pass it to know what's in it. That's what it reminds me of. So I just ask you to please not make this decision until it seems like there's a few more safeguards for the people who might be a little more vulnerable within the community.
Thank you for your comments. That ends the comments on the agenda section. We will now go take action on the action items. First being Commission Order 2026-201. Obviously, the topic that we have been discussing. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we take a vote on Commission Order 2026-201. A motion to vote on, yes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. We approve 2026-201. Next is 2026-202. This is the annexation order with the city of St. Clair.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-202. Next is 2026-203. Appointing Glenn Voller-Steen as the alternate representative for the city of Berger to the Frank County Transportation Committee.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. You've approved 2026-203. Next is 2026-204. Approving and authorizing disbursement of Frank County Transportation Committee grant funds. Those grant funds, the applicant was City of St. Clair. They were awarded $100,000. The City of Union was awarded $170,876. City of Washington was awarded $150,000. City of Pacific was awarded $60,988.
I make a motion, take a vote on Commission Order 2026, TAC 204.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. You've approved 2026-204. Next is 2026-205, is the withdrawing of the 2022 Franklin County Transportation Grant from the City of St. Clair.
Is Jim in? Nope.
I do not see Jim. Obviously, they did not timely. They were not timely with this grant. They did not ask for an extension, and therefore those funds were no longer available for them.
Yeah, I just find it questionable whether or not why they didn't request an extension. I mean, this is a standard procedure, is my understanding. You give them plenty of opportunity and time to I guess in this case finish their project, because it's not from the start of, it's for the completion of, and then they also have the opportunity to request an extension if they don't get to that point, and an extension request was never given, which is confusing to me. But I don't like pulling money back from any entity like that if they have if they have a legitimate project. But if that's a process and they had the opportunity to ask for an extension and didn't, maybe they had a reason. I don't know. But am I correct in my assumption of the extensions and such?
Yes, we had a meeting on October 16th that the Public Works Director was at, and he did not request an extension at that time.
Okay, so you even reached out to them.
Well,
So
he was at the meeting.
Okay.
That would be when he would put his request in.
okay,
So they're fully aware of what's going on.
yeah, okay. It's unfortunate, but they had the opportunity.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You've approved 2026-205. Next is 2026-206. Is the surplus equipment list and disposal of things. Mostly computer technology, printer. Anybody have any questions or concerns over that one?
Nope, I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We approve 2026-206. We now have the non-agenda item comments to begin. And Hayden.
Okay, so I'm against the rezoning for the data centers. So we've been told we need to respect the process. So again, I'm just curious, what is the process here? Because it seems to change from week to week. Sometimes we're allowed to speak, sometimes we're not. Sometimes, you answer questions, but not usually.
We can go back to not answering if you'd like.
I'm just curious, what are we supposed to expect from you? Like, we show up, we comment, because it's not a discussion anymore. Now it's going to be a discussion. So I wasn't prepared for that because it's not been up until this point. I just don't understand why it's so hard to get our point across to you that we're against the rezoning. We're against
I
the
think we're
data
fully
centers.
aware of the point that you're against rezoning, you're against data centers. I don't think there's a mystery at all to that. I think we're fully aware of that.
Well, okay, so after the May 18th hearing, I heard that we were going to have discussions. We were going to possibly have town hall meetings where people could ask their questions and you guys could answer the questions, but there's no time, there's no date. This meeting's always very rushed because we got to go, you're done. Where's the respect for us? We're supposed to respect you guys. And so far, I've been very respectful. I could go down that road of being disrespectful, but I don't choose to be like that. I witnessed last week the disrespect that went on for the auditor. It's her job to question what you're spending our money on. And you attacked her. And you didn't stand up for her. What are you going to do for us? Are you going to stand up for us? I don't see it. I don't think it. That's why I show up every week.
That wasn't an attack. That was a statement of fact. And
It was an attack. You go back and watch the video.
And I did not initiate that. It was
Well,
initiated by her herself.
When she asked the question, you certainly attacked her.
In a platform, she was obviously looking for the attention when she could have just came to our office, like her own statement said. When I said something, she said I could have came to her office. That's a two-way street. She could have came to our office like she should as an auditor. She has concerns, and we listened to those statements. And when she said she sent us emails, she got no answers, that was untruth. He sent her answers from the commission. She had those emails answered when she made that statement. So you have to look at both sides. You just can't see one side of the argument.
Ken, we don't get both sides of the argument. I've sent emails. I finally did get an answer to one of my emails, although my follow-up email was ignored. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Twyla Ashworth.
Okay. I know that each of you have grandchildren. And what kind of future do you want them to have? I'm sure as any parent or grandparent desires, you want the best for them, as we do for our own children and grandchildren. What kind of future will it be depends on the decisions you make now. Some decisions are not temporary, but permanent. When you think about the over 5,000 plus data centers currently in operation across the U.S., and with Governor Kehoe's dream of making Missouri the next Silicon Valley, I do not believe the future will be very bright when all you hear is high decibel levels of data center cooling fans, the smell of the aroma of gas or diesel-powered generators, lack of water for human consumption, compounds of multitudes of huge buildings, fencing around these compounds with guards, not to mention the high cost of electricity. The future does not look very bright or healthy. For children, there's no trees to climb, no rustling of leaves, no creeks to wade in, no clean rivers to swim in or float in, no silence to be enjoyed for peaceful contemplation, and no clean air to breathe. At this, I am glad I was born in a time when I could play outside, explore the world around me, and be able to enjoy my childhood. Will your grandchildren have that, or their children? I do not think they will. With the environmental impacts we are currently sustaining from wildfires, extreme temperatures, natural disasters from tornadoes and floods, all of these are due because of man's lack of wisdom, good judgment, and caring. God made a beautiful world for us to enjoy. Sadly, our world is being destroyed and fewer are paying attention. I want you to truly ask yourself, if money was not the prime goal here, would you still be so inclined to be interested in data centers? I urge you to vote no on both these data centers and provide a better future for your grandchildren and ours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Corbett.
Commissioners, I got to say, I find the back and forth today where we actually ask some questions and get some answers. It took election day for you guys to finally do that. That's ridiculous. Ken, your slanderous public attack on County Auditor Angela Gibson last Tuesday was beneath the dignity of your office and completely unacceptable. When you resort to personal attacks instead of facts, we have every reason to question whose interests are really being served. Her job as an elected constitutional officer, she has a duty to scrutinize spending, ask difficult questions, and protect taxpayer dollars. Thank you, Angela, for having the courage to speak up. Ken, her job isn't supposed to be comfortable for you, and it's not supposed to be convenient. It's to hold government accountable. If you disagree with her comments or conclusions, then present evidence, documents, and facts. But don't attack the person simply because she had the audacity to speak in this chamber in front of you. You don't work for the developers or political insiders or special interests. You seem to have forgotten a fundamental principle of public service. You work for the people of Franklin County, but you certainly don't act like it. On May 12th, you threatened to remove Jim Roberts from this chamber on his birthday, no less, because, my God, he had the audacity to disagree with you, and then you called him childish. Then I had to endure your lecture about your military service and how you would always defend the right to free speech. Respectfully, Ken, I don't need your lecture about service to the United States of America, sir. My family's honorable legacy in that area is beyond reproach. And now you not only publicly slander an elected official, then you made a motion to adjourn when the heat got too hot. Really? Ken, that's not leadership, that's cowardice. And I've got to ask, where is your honor, sir, when you act like that? If you don't want to be in that chair, Ken, and conduct yourself with the dignity that this office demands, then step aside. Resign today, because in 2028, you're going to ask the voters for the privilege of serving another term. They're going to decide whether your conduct reflects the professionalism and accountability that they demand. And I'm just telling you, it doesn't. This public office is a privilege, Ken, and it's not your entitlement. The people of Franklin County deserve leaders who welcome accountability instead of attacking it. And it's time to remember who your employer is. It's the voter. We, the people, have more than one way to hold all three of you guys accountable. And I suggest that you all remember that. And I just pray the people of Franklin County today are voting number one right in the middle. This presiding commissioner, Dave, I hope this is your last meeting as a presiding commissioner, because it's been nothing
Won't
but
be my
a
last.
joke.
Won't be a last. I'll be here at minimum to the end of the year. How about that, Corbett?
How about that? Now you want to make some comments, because I guess I got
No,
your
let's-
ire up a little bit. Now you finally have some comments back.
Let's be clear and transparent
Yeah,
in
let's,
what
please.
you keep asking for. So I hope you brought receipts with you today. You said I was slanderous. Would you like to define how I was slanderous?
You said that the county auditor's office is under investigation by the FBI and provided no proof. If you don't have a document that says that, do you have a document, Ken, that says that? That her office,
I have
if you do,
factual
let's see it.
evidence, yes, that occurred.
Can we see it? Can we
I don't
see
have it on me. Do you
Oh,
have all
I
your
don't
evidence
have-
on you?
I don't have it on.
I'm not the one making accusations.
You made the
without
accusation of the
receipts
county
that
auditor.
you were saying.
If you said that the office was under federal investigation, your next comment should have been, according to this document right here, you don't have that.
I think then maybe you should ask the auditor then if that's your concern.
I know,
Were
I
you
did ask-
questioned by the FBI? Yes or no? Were you questioned by the sheriff's department? Yes or no? Pretty simple. That'd answer your question. So why haven't you done that? No, you'd rather grandstand up here and cast dispersions of your own, which is unfair of yourself. And you keep stating yourself as an employer of mine. I'll tell you how you've treated this commission. You've accused them falsely of taking money, lining their pockets. You've called us names. The other individual you brought up cussed me out. Is that how an employer is supposed to treat an employee? Is that how you would expect to be treated by your employer? Let me tell you, if this was actually the case that you're representing here, that I'm an employee, I'd have one heck of a lawsuit against my employer. And I guarantee I'd win. It's all, you've been cussed out. You've been accused of everything with no evidence. I will open my finances to anybody that wants to see it. I got nothing to hide. So when you come up here and make accusations against it, it's very hurtful, especially when you're trying to do a good job and you're trying to do things that benefit the county.
Is it hurtful to the county auditor when you make that comment? She comes up here to ask a question.
I didn't.
She's literally
she
trembling.
took that upon
Ken.
herself. She took the opportunity to come up here
Dave's
and
beating his gavel.
grandstand.
I guess I need to sit down
When
and shut
she
up.
took
so.
the opportunity to get up here to grandstand, when she could have just as easily, as she requested of me, she could have came over to our office and had that discussion. But no, she chose to stand up on that platform and grandstand. So she brought it upon herself.
So
I
Ken,
didn't.
After that
I
meeting
didn't
last week,
attack
I
her.
went into her office and I talked to Angela.
I responded.
And she has told me that Mark Piontek, in meetings where you commissioners have been present, has literally put his hand in her face and said, quote, "Can we get her to shut up?" What's next? A burqa? Is that next? Women
That
sit down
Mark-
and shut up?
that Mark-
Corbett,
Is
this
that
is
next?
probably why we don't have a lot of back and forth, because we cannot figure out how to do it in the timely
And no,
manner.
I don't believe in Sharia law.
No,
So
but
I
thank
spent
you.
a lot of
What's your-
time in
what's
the
your
Middle East
response to
against
that?
Sharia.
Berta Carpenter.
response to
Unlike
that?
yourself.
Berta,
I'm
you're
sorry,
up.
what was that, Ken?
Unlike yourself.
What, unlike myself? What'd you just say?
I've spent time over the Middle East against Sharia law.
Okay.
Unlike
Yes, sir.
yourself.
And that, and
Corbett,
as I said, that's
please.
fine.
Corbett, please.
I'm
I
sorry.
guess-
Berta Carpenter.
Did you say I put my hand in her face?
That's what I was told.
Again, no
And that's
receipts.
categorically false. That's a lie.
Oh, that's a lie. Okay. All right. Well, okay, gentlemen.
Berta Carpenter, please. Her time is starting.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm here just to ask a question about regulations for data centers. Having heard about the presence of the possibility of a data center in my backyard, not a literal backyard, my backyard, I've been against them. But I've also taken the side that if I can't stop them, I want to make sure that the regulations protect the people that live around them. So my question is, I understand that after the public hearing on May 18th that you've been working on some changes to those regulations. And my question is, before you vote to approve or reject those, will the public be aware of the current status that you're voting on? Because to your benefit, if you've added additional protections before you vote on them, I think the people would appreciate knowing that, at least at that level, you're looking out for the county, and that, we would appreciate it. And if only the 1,000-foot setback for all residential is the only change, that's a positive. Not what I want, but it's a positive. And so I just think that you need to make sure that the public has a right to see what you're going to vote on before you vote on it, because that would be called transparency. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
It's my understanding that prior to our vote, we have to have public discussion. Is that true, Mark?
No.
It's not true? I thought before we... Hey, you can laugh all you want. I'm not an attorney, nor do I claim to be one. That's why I ask an attorney.
It will be an agenda item on the, assuming the commission decides to go forward, it will be on the agenda as an agenda item, and the public will have an opportunity to speak on agenda items just like they're doing today.
So they will have an opportunity to speak publicly.
Will
Okay.
be published? Like, will that file 260036 be put in a Dropbox so that the public can actually see them before the meeting? So that there are lots of pages, so it's not something that I think you'd want to have a discussion in your commission meeting, on the whole of it.
I would have no problem putting it out there. I guess it'd be a question how it's going to be put out there. And I don't know if it's even capable. We'd have to talk to Chuck. But if you came in and got a copy of it, I don't see no problem with that. It's public information.
Well, before the commission.
Before we vote on it, I agree, yeah.
No, but before the hearings, Nicole was able to put them in the Dropbox that was available.
The Dropbox. I don't know where you're talking about Dropbox.
I created a separate Dropbox because of the lack of PDFs on our website, and I wanted everyone to have access to everything. So
Where was the
it's a separate
Dropbox?
website. It's called Dropbox.com.
Oh, so it's an electronic Dropbox.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, and so I'm happy.
I don't see a problem with that.
Commission provides it to you prior to vote or whatever.
Good initiative
Next,
on your part, Nicole. Thank you.
Deb Title. Deb Title.
About that. I just have one little thing. If you're gonna do that, could you please try to have the meeting in the evening so that people who work for the town can voice their opinion? Well, just at 7 p.m. rather than 9 or 10 p.m. That was just the only thing I wanted to say.
You'll get another chance at this. You're on the list still again, right?
Sure.
Yep.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Deb Title, and I'm speaking on behalf of my family who has 26 acres at 2135 Old Gray Summit Road down to the Merrimack River. The land was acquired by my relatives in 1923 and ultimately became a full-time home for my grandfather, Charlie Title, in 1964. Today, our land is threatened by data centers from the east and the west, loss of well water, gaining air and sound pollution, as well as health consequences cited by educated Franklin County residents, show that our land will suffer doubly from both sides. For my family and myself, a data center crushes any chance of continuing the memories and the legacy of Charlie and Ellen Title. So yes, this is personal. To know what and who this decision impacts, I offer some examples. In the 70s, baseball teams and scout troops camped out there. There were lessons on fishing and hunting. There were dirt bike races. It was a destination for church float trips and extreme Easter egg hunts. Charlie and Ellen refurbished an old hunting cabin to recreate a small bed and breakfast as a hobby and a business in the 80s, and they hosted several high school reunions. In the 2000s, our farm was hosted hay rides and bonfires for Pacific United Methodist Church, bridal showers, baby showers. As I coached Pacific High School volleyball pregame dinners, hundreds of jars of jam from our garden and our orchard. Strangers came and asked to use the farm for photo shoots, from senior pictures to bridal shoots. Both Charlie and his son and later owner, Steve Title, always accommodated these requests. And in 2022, the land hosted a Title wedding. In 2025, after 33 years of teaching and coaching in St. Louis County, as well as Pacific High School and Merrimack Valley Middle School, my husband and I have retired, and we started to envision our lives at the farm. Our goal was to utilize local businesses and services whenever possible to ensure the property lived up to Charlie and Ellen's vision. This lifelong goal has been destroyed by this commission and their refusal to hear or understand the repercussions of a pro-data center stance. I don't know what will happen to my family's land. I don't know what I will tell Charlie's great-great-grandchildren. We're no longer able to have Easter egg hunts or tractor rides there. I don't know what I'm going to do when our orchard gardens and our well water dries up. But I do know that we will not go down without using every resource to fight back. Cedar View, our farm, is Charlie and Ellen's legacy. This decision, gentlemen, is yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jenny Voss.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For about the last 7 months, we have provided you with thousands of pages of studies, artifacts, articles, and facts about negative aspects and effects of the hyperscale data centers. You have heard from experts in many fields. We have asked hundreds of questions and we don't ever get any answers. If you don't know an answer, it's okay to say, I don't know. But I find it hard to believe that you don't know any answers. At this point, your own research should provide you with some kind of answers for us. So here is your opportunity. We would like you to provide us with all the information that you can, stating that AI hyperscale data center complexes do not cause harm to the environment, people, livestock, and communities they surround. We would like factual information from scientists, independent studies from universities, or qualified researchers. Make sure all resources are cited, and please do not use AI. We would like about 15 copies of each article by next week, and you can just put them on the table right here, and we'll collect them after the next meeting. At this point, the obvious answer is no to all regulations and rezoning for the 2 sites. And one last thing. Mr. Schatz, these are excerpts from your opening speech for the 100th General Assembly. When I find myself feeling frustrated in this chamber, which I'm sure you do now, I look at the fronts of our desk as I am now, and I see our district numbers there and not our own names. And I am reminded that we are here for our constituents and not for ourselves. And you closed with, I am not one for long speeches, so I will leave you with one final thought, that this is not original, but that has been repeated in this chamber often because of its power and plain truth. What I consider the unofficial motto of our chamber is inscribed on this wall. Free and fair discussion will ever be found the firmest friend to truth. Let us remember this in the days and months to come, and let us work together to make Missouri better for every person who calls it home. May God bless our work in our great state of Missouri. So now we are saying, let's live by those words. Let us work together to make Franklin County better for every person who calls it home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Rose.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
As our constitutional rights, local government exists to serve the public interest, not large corporations. As polls show, in the U.S., 71%, we the people, do not want senators in our community for the obvious reasons. Please consider the health and environmental consequences, as they can and will destroy our rural community. We don't want another Coldwater Creek, as I've lived through. Taking care of leaking landfills, stopping the data centers, and protecting our Merrimack River residents and wildlife should be your priorities. It is your job to protect the citizens of our jurisdiction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy Watson.
Well, it's not afternoon yet. Just
Not quite.
not quite. Last week, when I spoke before you voted on Springline Advisory Group's contract, I read to you 9 questions that I had that I really wanted answers to before you voted. And I understand that sometimes there aren't answers, and certainly I know I put you on the spot. So I gave you a copy of those, and even though that may be old news to you, it's not to us. So my question is, may I talk to one of you? I brought my questions back. I also gave you a copy. If one of you would speak with me after the meeting.
I think we've attempted to have some open discussion here. We can attempt to continue.
Okay. Are you saying you want my questions?
I hope that I don't know I can answer them all, but I can't remember exactly what your questions are.
Oh,
but
sure, I expect that. That's why I gave you a copy.
I don't have them in front of me, and I don't memorize them, so I did not memorize your questions.
I understand. I couldn't have done that either. Did Springline Advisory offer their services to Franklin County, or did you approach them?
We approached them.
Okay, thank you. What other companies, if any, were given the opportunity to bid? And I saw the notice in the paper, and I saw the timeline on that, which was extremely short. But I wondered, did any other company come forward and say, hey, you know what? We can do that for you. Okay. Okay. Well, there wasn't much time, by the way. And then, of course, this is old news. Why is the county considering approving and signing a $50,000 contract for consulting services prior to making a decision on the 4 hearings?
Obviously, we want to see the financial implications to the taxing entities. If the information that's been provided to us, we need to know whether it's accurate or not. And that's part of the process.
Yeah, it's part of the decision process.
To do our due diligence when it comes to, the tax revenues that potentially could be generated. And that's part of what I think people in this audience have asked, that we get information, that we be informed, and we get expert information. And obviously this is a expert in this area.
Okay, I have more to say on that at the end.
And Nancy, you're probably going to get into all 9, but so
I know. That's okay. I want
you
to
got
make
15
sure.
seconds. Yeah,
Is that all I have left? Okay,
yeah,
well,
you're
I'll talk
actually
to-
over right now.
Oh, thank you. I just want to say 2 more things, okay? And I will look forward to talking to one of you after the meeting. I'm going to read you something real quickly from the letter from the Springline Advisory Group. And here is what they say. Springline is the only local, hear that word, local advisory firm that has worked for communities, us and you, in Missouri to successfully approve multiple data center development projects. Their point is they are not unbiased. They're not going to give you any unbiased information because what they do, and this is their own statement, what they do is work with communities in Missouri to successfully approve multiple data center development projects.
Thank you, Nancy. Your time's expired.
Thank you.
Travis Layton, you're up.
Hello again, guys.
Morning.
All right. RSMO 610020. This isn't a time convenient for people. I don't really get why that you guys don't try to accommodate people, by having these at night. Like every other city and county at least tries to follow that with the time thing. So
Travis, I don't want to, I'll give you your time back, but I'm going to ask you the question. You say every other city and county has their council meetings and their commission meetings at
most.
Huh?
I would say most do.
Do you have fact to that? I'm just asking.
I will come back to you with
Okay,
those
I'm
facts.
just curious because I know that probably your charter forms of government probably have those types, but I'm not familiar with other. And I know a lot of county commissioners, but I have not heard any of them tell me that they hold their county commission meetings at 7 o'clock. I just
6.
Whatever. I mean,
Pacific, third class, fourth class cities do as well. I'll get that. That's a good question.
That's fine.
That's a reasonable question. Okay. Anyway, so rather than just bitch about it, I thought I'd come in with some solutions. So that's what engineers do, right, Ken? So remember back around 2020 during the hyperscale flu period that we all remember, a lot of local governments, and I'm not sure what you guys did, went to Zoom for their meetings and then even had the public comments come in through Zoom. So would that possibly be an option for the people that are at work to maybe listen in their earbuds or whatever while they're at work, or have a phone that number they can call in to give their verbal public comment? I know for me, I'm more of a face-to-face guy than a write it and, throw it in an email and that's the end of it. So that's maybe one solution that might help. And another little thing that would help us is if there's like a little cheapy timer somewhere. And then
we can work on that.
Yeah, and then
I'm certain we can.
I can tell sometimes you feel awkward with the gavel thingy because it's. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just I can sense that it's not always.
I'm trying to be accommodating for the most part.
I actually recognize that, Dave. Another suggestion was hiring a third party to do a survey of your county to actually, because we're the vocal minority, I hear we're called, but it's actually through some national surveys, it's about 70% of the population doesn't really want this stuff. So, find out exactly what your county wants. I don't think that's too unreasonable. The two-way conversation de-escalates tension. That's a good thing.
I don't disagree, but it can escalate tension too.
I get it, but for the most part, it de-escalates and it's appreciated. And just from seeing how other cities go into chaos, when it helps eliminate some of that. And I think that's about it.
I'm going to be awkward and give you the the wrap.
The last thing is, would you consider doing what Pacific did with making the two builders give you some funding where you hire your selected third-party consultants so that you wouldn't buy a used car and trust the used car guy's mechanic to tell you it's okay? If you guys selected your own independent consultants and make them pay for it. Pacific already kind of paved the way for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana Bowers.
Ken, last week after the meeting, you asked me a question. Do you speak for everybody in this county? That's what you asked me, right? Because I do have it on live feed, just so, a reminder. You did ask me that point blank. Do you speak for everybody in this county? I tried to answer you even though you were rudely interrupting me. So I will answer on the record. I do speak for myself, my friends, my neighbors, and also I will tell you I got multiple messages after that live stream of people saying, I wish you would have said that you spoke for me too. I wish you would have said you spoke for me too, because there are thousands of people that I speak for. So they might not be in your district, but yeah, you know what? I don't just speak for myself and my family, my friends, my neighbors, but I'm speaking for all the people that could not make it to the meetings or can't make it to these meetings, which I think are utterly ridiculous time of the day, because we have to take off work to be here. You also stated some of your constituents in your district said that we're crazy. Funny you claim that, since the current pro data center online petition has a whole whopping 25 people's signatures. I find it condescending, demoralizing, and degrading claim. Honestly, it's kind of funny. Call us crazy all you want, but we don't care. That's fine. Call us crazy. If this was being shoved into their backyards and they were as educated on this situation as much as what we are, they would be sitting right here with us and they would be just as crazy as us.
So you're saying they're uneducated?
On the, what did I just say? On this specific situation. I have it written down right here. Educated on this specific situation. Because it's not their home. It's not their land. It's not their livelihood. So yes, they are not as educated as what we are on this specific situation.
I heard you defining it as our farmland. So I would assume our is pretty inclusive. When you make a statement saying we don't want our farmland or our land, that's pretty inclusive. So I wouldn't.
Do we?
I wouldn't.
I mean, this is our home, right? This is our community. This is our community. This is our home.
All I'm saying is
you
don't leave
live
them
there.
out.
So
don't discount
you
them.
You think it's going to not affect you?
They fit under your statement when you say our. That's all I'm saying. Our. Well, that's not thousands, it's
This is
two,
for
but
all of the people who
at least you're
can't
bringing receipts. I give you that.
and don't have a voice to be able to have the time to speak. So yes, I do. I speak for them as well. Stop it.
I'm just showing you this because
I honestly came up here to kind of either way, it's ridiculous. And you should not have spoken to our auditor the way that you did in that meeting last week. Say what you want. I don't care. That's an excuse. It was unnecessary. It was rude, disrespectful to demoralize and degrade a woman who holds a seat in our office the way that you spoke to her. You might not feel that it came across that way, but everybody else did. So just so you're aware, I think you owe her an apology. Don't do it.
Thank you, Dana.
I want to leave this with you.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome. I want to leave this with you.
Okay.
It is a list of some questions. I think one thing that has not been spoken enough about is the fire hazards. I've spoken to a lot of firefighters from a multitude of different departments, including here in Missouri. But the most disturbing was the most recent conversation I had with one who is a fire captain, fire chief, and has been is a veteran firefighter of over 35 years. And the unfortunate part about it is we don't have our firefighters that are able to come to these meetings because they could potentially lose their jobs if they stand up and speak out against this because they're a part of the National Firefighters Union.
We had the assistant chief that did attend these meetings from Sullivan. So
they
are here.
I'm just saying there are
fire chief
a lot of concerns, massive concerns, not just with the money and cost behind this, but their health. And these are our friends and family.
I agree with you on that statement.
That's a very, very big thing that's not a part of our regulations yet. Oh my God. He got, no, actually I was just allowing Dave to use his gavel more than once on me.
Very quickly, I just want to go back over the meeting I had with Dave this morning. First of all, I'd like to tell you that the Altoona mayor wrote the Festus mayor in an email and said that he wouldn't do the same deal again if given the chance. And I mentioned many times how these hyperscale data center companies will come in and they'll promise you the world, but they do not deliver. In Colorado, they're being sued for use of the Colorado River after pledging never to go after the water in the Colorado River. On July 2026, two Cedar Rapids data centers have dug illegal wells. The city was told that they would have no need for the well. Mexico residents have had long water outages due to the Meta Center and also a hepatitis scare there. Idaho farmers are being water restricted while data centers are not restricted. In Memphis, which is where I went, everybody knows I went there this weekend, they are running 60 generators. They were running them illegally, and then the city had to give them a permit because they've continued to run them illegally. They promised to build a water cleaner plant, and they have reneged on that. They stopped that completely. In Beaver Dam, they promised the water would be water neutral, yet they have dug two private wells in that area next to them have gone dry. These are all local, and Beaver Dam will not even be operational until 2027. In Georgia, Beverly and Jeff Morris live 1,000 feet away from Meta, and their well went dry months after construction. Oracle recently laid off 10,000 workers, and they are estimating a layoff of up to 30,000 workers. This hurts low-income citizens. And about that man that you hired, just to let you know, there's lots of documented evidence. I will be happy to give it to you of local leaders saying that we did not receive what we were promised. We won't receive the tax revenue. Anyway. I don't know why it doesn't. I don't know why. Why doesn't it play sometimes? But when I went to Altoona to Memphis, this is right next door to somebody's house. I'm sorry. I'm so upset. I can't.
The situation is, we've talked to Miss Loretta Thornton,
Right next to her house.
She is ex-military.
I'm gonna. And everybody knows this is on my Facebook page. Anybody can use it for anything they want. I don't know why this one won't play, but it's the one Dave heard. Dave heard it, and he said he was shocked that that it sounded like that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. The noise, that level. I mean, I would have to hear it myself, but I mean, that's very, very loud. And if that was, no,
I didn't hear it either.
She just showed it to me in my office.
And
I believe it was because they were running their generators, as she stated, full time.
Okay.
This is in her yard.
I'm appalled.
This is her tree line. That's her
Musk.
tree line. That's where they are. That's her yard.
Is
24/7, 365 days.
It's just a horrible
a year.
Neighbor.
They're walking up this. I'm sorry that I know my time is up, but walking up that street because I wanted to see how far the sound went. It actually kind of got louder as I went up the street because I think the sound kind of pinged off the street, and there were empty houses on that street. People vacated their houses. Memphis is a poor town. People can't afford to vacate their house. Just leave them.
Thank you for your comments.
That information you asked for about the data centers that I visited, I had to write it by hand, but that's it.
That's it. Fine. Thank you. That ends the public comment on non-agenda items. Oh, wait a minute. You were on the wrong page. Jeff, you were on the agenda items, but you said you wanted to talk about non-agenda items. So you're up.
It's nice to hear a conversation coming out of you guys. What do you got to say for data center? How are they good for us? Surely you guys are working columns, right? Good column, bad column, data centers, rezoning. Got anything? Nothing on the column?
It's a force diagram, but no.
I'm sorry?
It's called a force diagram, but no. the columns. It's a force diagram, but no. I
don't
have
have
no.
anything.
I have made no decision for or against data centers. If
Not
that's what
the
you're
data
asking.
center, but how about the pollution?
We're still in the
Our-
process. We're still in the process of that investigation on our own. Just like you say that they're promising all this money. Well, maybe they are, maybe they're not. We haven't had the meetings with them yet to whether they are. But if they do promise the money, if this taxing consultant hopefully could shed some light on that, say yes, that is bullcrap or whatever you want to call it. That's part of the investigation. So
Okay,
so we're still investigating,
you're still investigating. I get that.
and we got your USB drive, by the way, also.
But have you watched it? See,
Chuck,
that's the thing.
Chuck, we had to send that USB through Chuck to make sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be, and then we are getting it from him to watch.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we are acting on it,
Really grateful for that.
and I'm sorry, but we're in this day and age that you have to do things like that. But with technology the way it is, it's unfortunate you have to do that. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
I'm just curious. So you guys you're researching. So one of you, have you got any kind of decision that you've made on any one item? Is the electricity
any one item give me an example. What are you asking?
Is there going to be enough power for this from Ameren?
We're told yes
by
Ameren.
That is correct. We are, again, we have spoken to them on more than one occasion on their 20-year plan. I think they just recently updated their 20-year outlook, and they renew that every 3 years. We've had more than one meeting on that particular subject, and they assure us that they have enough power in their plan
for everybody
to power their current needs, their expected needs, and a couple of these hyperscale data centers. They can't do unlimited hyperscale data centers without maybe adjusting their plan, but they have attested to the fact that they have in their long range plan enough power to run those.
Okay, perfect. How about the next issue? The air pollution they're going to cause? The backup generators are going to cause? Is that going to happen? Do you think? Is that going to happen? Have you researched any of that? Will that happen? Will pollution happen from the data centers?
I think that's a fact of life. If I go out there and start my vehicle, I'm polluting, right? So
Darn right it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. You recognize that they're going to pollute way more,
as we all do,
than anybody else, but they're going to be hyperscale. And they're going to take up hundreds of acres and be pretty damn tall. Thanks, Dave.
I just had to let you know.
So I was just curious if you guys got anything about the data center. And Ameren, I'm sure they're pushing information right your way.
Thank you. That ends the public comment section on non-agenda items. Do we have any elected official reports, department reports? Anyone want to take a stab at anything?
Thanks for talking today.
I will say that it's a conversation. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate through this, but obviously we went way beyond most of the time allotted in the process for that. Whether or not how we will navigate through there, because like I said, trying to be fair. But when you engage us and then we answer a question, it's obviously burning up your time as well. So further commission discussion.
Not I.
Nope.
Good. I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.